Today, I'm going to talk about how to design a church building. This is a massive project. So, different churches have different likes, but there are some common spaces that are supposed to be included in a church design. Now, I will start with how we design a Catholic church building. Maybe we shall see as we go, we shall take another type of church building, but today I would like to focus how to design a church building, particularly a Catholic church building. So the first thing that we're supposed to keep to know that when designing a Catholic church building, you're supposed to have various spaces, and these include one, the altar. You must have an altar. This is a place where those presiding prayers inside the church are supposed. Here I'm talking about the priests, bishops, etc. They're supposed to sit at the altar where they preside the prayers from. And basically, it is an elevated space, slightly maybe 2 or 3 steps, depending on the church. Maybe you can go up to 4 steps higher than the ordinary floor level. So basically, it's supposed to be elevated. That's a point that I'm like. Then you must have an amber or pulpit where basically the weight of the word is preached from, where the lectors will take a reading from. This is also elevated. It is the same level as the altar, most of the times. Then you're supposed to have the navy. The navy is the sitting area of the congregants or the people who have come to worship. So this is the sitting area. Depending on the church, it might have various seating, maybe 2 sitting areas, may have 5, might have 6, might have 7, depending on the design of the church. So that is what we call the navy, where basically it is separated by the ISO, which is a walking area down to the altar. You must have that. Then you must have a confession areas. These are confession boxes. You need to make provision for the confessional areas, which the priests normally use for the confessions. Sometimes, the Catholic Church, they don't have these because the designers could have forgotten, but those are supposed to be included in those spaces. Then you must have an area for the tabernacle where the Holy Blessed Sacrament is kept. You must make a provision for that in your design. Make sure you have that space. Then you must have a sacristy where the priests will dress from, and it is from there that they'll process inside the church. You must have a sacristy, the dressing area, where even the wardrobes are kept, the vestments are kept, everything that is used during Mass that kept there, and it is used also as the dressing area. For those interested, some they separate. They have a dressing area for the priests. They have a dressing area for the water servers. Have a dressing area for the choir members. Then you must have also a choir area. It must be deliberate that you design a choir area where they will be singing from. It's always good that you consider that in your design, because it shows if the design did not include that in the initial planning. You must have a choir area. Then you must have a baptismal font, basically where you are going to do baptism. It's very deliberate that you include that in your design, because it shows if this is an aftermath space when the design did not include that in the initial design. So you must have that. And another thing that somebody who is designing a church must consider, of course, there are restrooms. You must consider to place the restrooms at the proper places, because many people will be using this space. So you're supposed to consider to have the restrooms. So make sure you make a provision for the restrooms, enough for female. And the other spaces is always good to consider having put some stores, enough stores, because they will always have some things that they need to do that, including a media area where you can keep the media tools and which can be a media room. it's always good to consider that, because the church must always have those facilities. So those are some of the things that one who is trying to design a church building must consider and take into consideration to their design. Thank you very much. This is John. Until next time. Bye.